morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be taking a little bit of a look at a couple of colorless Pokemon. We've looked at the vast majority of cards that came out in Alta Genesis recently in Japan. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to finish off by having a look at the last couple. And the one I want to start off with today is a Heliolisk, which is incredibly, well, kind of cool, because we've never had a colorless Heliolisk before. We've had 6 different Heliolisks starting off in Flash Fire, and every single one of them has been a lightning-type Pokemon. So it's kind of cool that we're getting a colorless one now, but the question is, can it be any good? Well, if we have a very quick look at the basics here, 100 HP on a stage 1 is not particularly great. Weakness to fighting sucks because of stuff like Buzzwole and people trying to counter Pikachu and Zekrom. And retreat cost of 1 is lovely because of U-turn board. But the thing is, if you were a lightning Pokemon, you'd have Thunder Mountain to reduce your attack cost. You'd have Electro Power to do a little bit of extra damage. Being a colorless Pokemon is so much worse than being a lightning Pokemon. It's almost not even worth mentioning. Just like the second attack here. 3 colorless energy, 80 damage. No! Now look, I'll tell you this. You got triple acceleration energy. And having triple acceleration energy is pretty great, because it means you can pay the attack cost in one go. But you're doing 80 damage for your 1 of 4 triple acceleration energy. You can only play 4 in your deck. When they're gone, they're gone. They fall off at the end of your turn. And you're doing 80 damage. No! Again, if you were hitting stuff for weakness, not that anything really relevant other than Zapdos, and it's only got 110 HP, is weak to lightning anyway, but you're not hitting anything for weakness, so that in and of itself is a moot point. 80 damage for a triple acceleration energy sucks. Maybe you use Tapu Koko to accelerate a little bit of lightning energy, and then you use Welder to get the other 2 energy on there, making them fire, but come on! No. No. So maybe the first attack is a little bit better. 1 colorless energy, 30 damage. If your opponent has a lightning Pokemon in play, this attack does 120. Now that I am a lot more in favor of. This I can get behind, ladies and gentlemen. Now that doesn't mean I think it's good. But 120 for 1 energy is actually pretty good. And we've got a couple of Pokemon around at the moment that do 120 for a single energy. We've got Buzzwole that can hit 120 for 1 energy, just so long as your opponent's got 4 prize cards remaining. But it's also a fighting Pokemon, which means you get a 1-hit KO on Pikachu and Zekrom. Oh, that makes a huge difference, ladies and gentlemen. That makes a huge difference. Okay. So, yeah. That's quite a lot better. We've got Xurkitree, who is an actual lightning Pokemon, who again can hit 120 for a single energy. Now, this time it's if your opponent's got 3 prize cards remaining. But again, you're a lightning Pokemon, so you can use stuff like Electro Power, you can use Thunder Mountain. And actually, both Xurkitree and Buzzwole have more HP than Heliolisk does anyway. I want to like this. I want to get excited about the fact that we've got our first ever colorless Heliolisk, for which we have been waiting many years. But the reality is, we've got a first attack which is kind of awkward, and a second attack which is flat out bad. And let's not forget that this first attack only actually works if your opponent's got a lightning Pokemon in play. Now, to be fair, that is one of the best typings to have here because of Dedenne. Dedenne is seeing play in a lot of decks at the moment. You play it on the bench, you discard your hand, you draw 6 cards. That's pretty huge. And it's seeing play in a lot of decks. It is a phenomenal consistency Pokemon. And it sees a huge amount of play. And it is fairly likely that we're actually going to be able to get this rolling. It is pretty likely that we're going to be able to make this work because of Dedenne. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, I'm not loving it. But maybe Braviary can change our minds. Maybe this is the card, which is going to help us out a lot more here. Well, it's another stage 1, and it's still a colourless Pokemon with all the problems we saw before, but triple acceleration energy. 130 HP on a stage 1, to be fair, is higher than a lot, and now we do have a resistance to fighting, which we like, while still having a retreat cost of 1, allowing us to use U-turn board. Weakness to lightning, though. Now, the one good thing here is that Zapdos doesn't actually hit for weakness. If it did, we'd be in trouble. And to be fair, Pikachu and Zekrom is getting a one-hit KO on you anyway, and Raichu and Alolan Raichu should be getting a one-hit KO on you anyway. Now, there is a potential here that Raichu and Alolan Raichu isn't able to get back to the bench and then back in the active, which means they're only hitting 80 damage with Tandem Shock, and then you get KO'd. But that is about the only relevant Lightning Pokemon at the moment that is going to take advantage of your weakness. Raichu and Alolan Raichu if they can't get to the bench and back in the active. Okay. So what does it do? Well, the first attack for 1 colourless energy does 30 damage and says that your opponent's active Pokemon cannot retreat during their next turn. Now, I have made no secret over the years of my love for attacks like this. Gabite. For a long time, I was talking about the virtues of Gabite. I won games with Gabite. Wait until your opponent is out of switching cards, use Gabite Sand Tomb to do 20 damage and stop them retreating. The thing was, Gabite was just one step on the journey towards Garchomp. So it was a handy little bonus. It was a, well, you know what, right, I'm playing the Stage 2 Garchomp, but you never know, maybe I want to start taking advantage of my Stage 1. Oh, it's here as an option. That's quite lovely. That's cool. That's what I liked about it. I'm not a huge fan of this as kind of a centre of the deck. Now, the good news is here at the moment that our switching options are much worse. We're basically down to Switch itself and Tate and Liza. So you can actually stick Pokemon in the active with this far more readily than we've been able to in the past. When everyone was playing for Guzma, making a Pokemon stick in the active was very difficult. I mean, a lot of the time they'd end up switching incidentally while they wanted to use a Guzma anyway. They were using it as a gusting effect. Oh, while I'm gusting, I might as well switch. Why not, ladies and gentlemen? Why not? But honestly, it's not a reason to play a Stage 1. It's a lovely bonus, and you will get the odd victory from this. If there's a Pokemon that cannot attack and you can stick it in the active, you can deck them out and you'll win. If there's a Pokemon with, say, 90 HP remaining, but it can't really attack, you can free hit KO it, and if they can't get out of the active, you'll get a cheeky KO. It's a nice bonus. It's not a reason to play the card. So what do we have instead? 4 energy, 140 damage, discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon? Really? I mean, look, the energy cost here is payable. We've got triple acceleration energy, we've got Tapu Koko Prism Star, we've got Welder, and if you really want it, we've got Malamar. So we can pay this. And if this was free colourless energy 140, I'd be all like, yeah, okay, I'm down with that. But it's not. It's 4 energy, which means all of a sudden a triple acceleration energy alone won't do it. We need another energy, and that, ladies and gentlemen, that is where I fall down with Braviary here. I don't necessarily think it's some kind of garbage attack on a garbage Pokemon, but I do think it is 1 energy too expensive. Discarding 2 energy doesn't matter because you should be using triple acceleration energy anyway, but it's not good enough. It doesn't get a KO on Dedenne or Jirachi, which are the 2 weakest GXs we've got at the moment, which is a little bit sad. And it doesn't hit anything for weakness. It'll get a lot of non-GXs. It will get the majority of non-GXs. But you're 2-hit KOing GXs and tag team GXs, 1-hit KOing a bunch of non-GXs, and paying 4 energy discarding 2 of them in the process. No. I'm giving both these Pokemon 2 Wassies. They're not offensively bad. They're just not particularly good, and I can't really think of many reasons to play either of these Pokemon over other Pokemon we've got instead. But I would be very excited to hear what you think about these cards, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.